So I keep getting questions about palm cooling, and I kind of assumed that everybody just knew what these devices do by this point, but apparently they're still on the fringe. So in part, I'm just making this as a resource that I can refer to when I get questions from all of you guys. I'm not the expert here. There are plenty of people who know much more about palm cooling than I do, but in short, this has been my experience over the last 18 months or so using these devices. First I had the CoolMint, now I have the Narwhals. These are the XLs from Apex Cool Labs. In another video I talk about the differences between the two. Now I just want to talk about what they do. In a nutshell, they just allow me to work out harder for longer periods of time, and I feel like I have shorter recovery times, that I can do back-to-back strength sets. Instead of waiting 5 minutes, I can wait 2 minutes or 3 minutes. The energy just comes back quicker and stays very high. If you want to know the nitty-gritty details, I would just recommend you going to Apex Cool Labs and bugging them about them, because I don't want to pretend to be the expert or misinform you. How I use those obviously is for the strength element, but there's also another thing that I really like using them for, and it's for tendon health. Two of the main things that I know about, or in the research talks about how you can make tendons feel better, more dense, more stiff, is either really, really heavy, like 80-90% when rep max, or light for a really, really long time. I prefer to go with the heavy method as it seems to be more effective, but that's not always the safest. If it's working though, if I use palm cooling while I'm helping somebody's tendon feel better, I get to load them at a higher intensity for longer periods of time. That should help their tendon get better quicker, in addition to a few of the other tricks up my sleeve. So that alone is worth the price of admission, because these are a lot less expensive than the CoolMint. If you're in a sport with intervals, whether that's volleyball and you're a middle blocker coming off the court, or in between sets of volleyball or tennis, hockey, I know these are in particular getting more popular, which I'm excited about. You're just leaving points on the table if you're staying too warm. If I was in charge of a team, this would be a priority. If you want to spend money on points, this is about as close as you can get to helping athletes have more energy to compete at higher intensities for longer periods of time. Yeah, I think you guys get the point there. Then that, I think, is it. That's about what these things do for me. These are the only two devices that I've been interested in trying. I like this one. I haven't tried the other one that's out there, the AVA cooling or whatever, and that's because it looks like an overpriced can of soda, meaning there's no temperature regulation. You just like stick it in your fridge and you grab it. I don't want to spend $60, $70 or whatever when I could use a can of soda. These actually regulate the temperature, which I really like, both of these units. But as I said, I prefer these. If you have any questions for me about how I use them, feel free to ask. If you want questions about the science, go over to Apex Cool Labs.